Right, this is the final part of the footrest saga, the footrest mounting bracket. And I've solved it. Instead of spending £70 on the official BMW part, I've used a bit of metal that was holding the fence up, and it's not needed anymore, and so for the fence, for the fence post, but it's quite good, strong, mild steel, and I'm using it to make a V in exactly the same place as the standard footrest. And also you can see, I'm going to zoom this in, that I have solved the rear brake mounting problem as well. Again, with bits of scrap metal. Where is it? You can see this piece of angle iron here. I've basically had to drill 4 holes in it, 2 holes to go in the existing mounting holes. Well, I've used this mounting point here, which is the original, that's where the original footrest bolts to. I've moved the master cylinder, the brake actuating sensor, to the other side of the, so it's on the actual brake itself. Yeah, so now I've moved this little yoke to, that's the sensor that turns the switch on for the back brake, and I've just had to extend the wires and then run them along the swinging arm. Everything's back to front. So the reason I did that was to give me more space on the in the brake master cylinder mounting area, and so now it might not be the prettiest job, but it works, it's all functioning. So hang on, I'll just zoom it back out again. Right, so it's all functioning. So this bit of angle iron, I've drilled 1 hole to match up with the original footrest mounting brake, because that's a good strong 6mm bolt. So I've mounted the bracket there, and another hole at the bottom here, which is one of the original mounting holes for the BMW master cylinder, and then I've got another hole here to match up with the new master cylinder. So now I've got the master cylinder is solidly mounted to this piece of angle iron and to the frame, and you can see with the new master cylinder it's got one of these kind of V-shape bits that goes down onto the brake cylinder, and I've managed to position it so that the brake works nice and smoothly, and the brake is working properly now. And I might bleed it just once more, just to be on the safe side. But now I can mount both the new master cylinder and my new footrest hanger, which, as I say, is made out of this mild steel. And I've got 2 slots. That was quite handy. They were on the original gate post, so I've used them just to give me a little bit of how's your father, a bit of adjustment, you know. So I know that's the way it goes around that way. So I've used a couple of old sockets. Well, they're not that old. Well, they are old, but they've probably, I doubt if I ever used them. One's a 15mm socket. That's what I've used here to space the mounting bracket off the frame, and the other is some 9/16, which is I don't think I've hardly used any of the non-metric sockets at all, and that socket set must be getting on for, I don't know, 15 or 20 years old, and I've never used the imperial sizes apart from the 5/8 or the 9/16 one, which is near enough 14mm, and for a long time I was without a 14mm socket because I'd lost it. So now I'm just at the final stages, I hope, of mounting this on, and I might need one more washer. So that is the finished job. That is the end of the master cylinder saga and the footrest mounting bracket saga. And it might not look very pretty, but it does mount quite solidly, and but it is, the big bolt here is very close to the swing arm, so, and I don't want to fall off the bloody chair again, but yeah, there is a bit of movement. So now, I mean, 99% of the time this pillion foot peg is unoccupied, unless I unless I get lucky, and so that is the saga of the footrest. As I say, the master cylinder is mounted quite nicely now, and it's sort of tucked a bit more out the way, and because I've moved the pressure sensor switch to the other end of the brake hose, it's given me more space around this mounting area where the footrest hanger is supposed to mount, because the genuine one, it's a really bad design, and it's right bang smack in the way of where this mounting bolt goes. So I don't know what the genuine solution is, but I think that's why the actuating rod on the BMW broke, because it was probably working at a not a very good angle. But now, as I say, my foot brake is working perfectly, and this little bit here, I suppose I might modify that slightly. It's quite strong, I'll see what it says about that on the MOT, but I might cut that off a bit so it doesn't stick out so much. But there we are, all ready to go. I'm hoping that I can take it for an MOT tomorrow with the brake working. As I say, I'm going to bleed it one more time just to be on the safe side, and the brake will be working, and it will have a secure mounting for the footrest, because I have failed an MOT before because the foot I left the footrest off altogether. I didn't have any pillion footrests, and he said if it's got the mountings for it, it should have the footrest on it. So even though I've only carried a pillion on this bike a couple of times, but like I say, you never know. It's always be prepared. So if I do get lucky and someone does want to ride on the back, then I'm confident that this homemade footrest hanger will do the job adequately, because I mean, you don't have to put that much weight on it. Your foot's only resting on it really, so as long as they climb on from the left hand side and put all the weight on that as they kind of throw the leg over, I think everything will be fine. So I'm quite pleased with that, and well, I'm definitely pleased that it's taken me so long to sort out, and now I'm happy with it. You know, I'm happy that it's going to pass the MOT, and if it doesn't, well, it must pass the MOT because I need to ride the bike. But anyway, as you can see, it might be a bodge, but it's a well engineered one, and function has taken place over form, and it's all working very nicely. So that is the end of both the footrest hanger saga and the rear brake master cylinder saga. Where's the pointer? But winter's coming now, so I really need to sell something so I can build a shed. I'm hoping I might get the Kawasaki MOT and sell that and buy a shed, and then I can work on my bike, which I really want to get done up quite smartly, is my TDM 850. So that's enough for me.